Welcome back to Animeology, and today we will show you those anime series that consist of main characters who are ready to unleash their full power in order to save, protect, and keep their lovers, friends, and family safe from any given harm. So in this video, you will definitely come across some amazing anime that you'll really enjoy watching. Before we begin, be sure to drop a like and subscribe down below for more anime top 10s, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 10. Hakuki. Chitsuru Yukimura is a young woman searching for her missing father, Kodo, a doctor, who, due to his work, is usually far from home. As some time passes, Chitsuru did not hear anything about him, so she decides to disguise herself as a man and goes to Kyoto to look for her father. But a turn of events will turn Chitsuru's life upside down, as she soon witnesses a horrifying scene of a Ronin being brutally murdered by crazed white-haired men. A group of men arrives to the scene of the crime and ties her up, taking her back to their headquarters, where she is unsure whether she will survive or they will try to silence her permanently. However, once the Shinsengumi knows the name of her father, they decide to keep her safe, as they too have been searching for him. After having watched all episodes of Hakuki, I feel at liberty to write that this is an excellent anime, worth every minute that you take to watch it. The story is good so far. The best part about Hakuki is that it discloses the story piece by piece, and it looks better as you watch each episode. Number 9. The Legend of the Legendary Heroes. The Legend of the Legendary Heroes follows the story of Reiner Lute, who is a lazy student of the Roland Empire Royal Magicians Academy. One day, the Roland Empire goes to war against their neighboring country, Estebul, and Reiner loses his classmates in the war. After the war, Reiner sets out on a journey to search for relics of a legendary hero at King Sion Astal's command, and finds out that a deadly curse is spreading throughout the continent. Despite some flaws, The Legend of the Legendary Heroes remains an excellent fantasy anime series. The story is very well done, the characters are thoroughly interesting, and adopt shades of gray instead of black and white, and every episode is as enjoyable as the previous one. Number 8. High School DXD. This story follows student Issei Hayado, who is a pervert. He does nothing productive with his life, peeping on women and dreaming of having his own harem one day. Things seem to be looking up for Issei when the pretty Rias asks him out on a date, although she turns out to be a fallen angel who brutally kills him. However, he gets a second chance at life when Rias Gremory, who is a top-class devil, revives him as her servant. Now, Issei must fight and train in order to survive in the violent world of angels and devils. The preceding adventure leads to many hilarious and epic moments with his new comrades, all the while keeping his new life a secret from his friends and family in High School DXD. This is a kind of anime that has been praised as the best ecchi ever made, and in a way that's accurate. Seriously though, it is an ecchi. For all you ecchi haters, stay away. This show was amazing to watch. The first 2 seasons were really great, but my only issue with this show was season 3. To me, it seemed kind of off compared to the rest of the seasons. This was basically the only flaw with this show. Other than that, I highly recommend you give this one a watch. At number 7, Strike the Blood. Imagine a city dedicated solely to housing demons and other supernatural creatures. A city where demons, witches, and shamans are commonplace, and new magical advances are made every day. Kojo Akatsuki is an inhabitant of such a place, called Itogami City. Despite living in this place, Kojo only wants a normal life. Unfortunately, he happens to be the fourth progenitor, an incredibly powerful vampire with a host of magical familiars. As such, this causes him to be labeled as a potential threat, and so the government sends an agent to observe him and, should he threaten the safety of the island's inhabitants, kill him. Thankfully for Kojo, the sword shaman sent to observe him is Yukuna Himuragi, a high school girl who seems more interested in helping him defeat all the psychos that attack the city as opposed to killing him. Despite being a vampire, Kojo is a rather friendly one, preferring to drink his own blood in order to satisfy his bloodlust, and only drinking the blood of others when they explicitly agree to let him do so. The problem I see with Strike the Blood is the poor story execution that turns out to be dull for someone who isn't really into action or ecchi genres. And to make things worse, there are some plot holes about how Kojo became the fourth progenitor as well. Number 6. Demon King Daimao. This story focuses on Akuto Sai, who transfers to Constant Magic Academy, where he befriends a virtuous ninja clan member, Junko Hattori. On the way to the academy, they vow to make the world a better place together. However, the situation suddenly takes a turn for the worse upon his arrival. It's prophesized that he will become the Demon King. As word of his destiny spreads, the school begins to fear him, and Junko's trust in him falters. While Akuto is determined to not let his predicated future control his fate, it seems as though everything he says and does only serves to reinforce the fact that he is destined to be the Demon King. Moreover, he is surrounded by a harem of beautiful girls who each have their own plans for him, ranging from bringing him to justice to simply showering him with love. With his newly awakened powers, Akuto must cope with his constantly growing list of misfortunes and fight to prove that his fate is not set in stone. A very decent anime that I personally enjoyed. It leaves a lot to be desired in its 12 episodes, and I think a second season should be somewhere in its future. I think it could have had a lot more success as a 24 or 26 episode series because the story seems too complicated to be explained in just half of that. At number 5, Seraph of the End. One day, a mysterious virus appeared on Earth which killed every infected human over the age of 13, while vampires emerged from the world's dark recesses and enslaved mankind. Enter Hayakuya Yuichiro, a young boy who, along with the rest of the children from his orphanage, are treated as livestock by the vampires. Even in captivity, Yuichiro dreams big, and he dreams of killing vampires, and he dreams of killing them all. Hence, the anime follows this main character, Yu, who is often ready to unleash his power to save his lovers, friends, and his close ones. Definitely an enjoyable series, just don't expect Attack on Titans type of stuff. The opening for Seraph of the End does a very good job of setting a dark, spooky atmosphere before it jumps into action shots and the music picks up. Seraph of the End is the quintessential example of a generic anime title. It's a show you've undoubtedly seen many times before, and one you'll continue to encounter way after its time in the limelight is up. Number 4, Noragami. Noragami focuses on Yato, who is a minor deity and a self-proclaimed delivery god who dreams of having millions of worshippers. Without a single shrine dedicated to his name, however, his goals are far from being realized. He spends his days doing odd jobs for 5 yen apiece until his weapon partner becomes fed up with her useless master and deserts him. Just as things seem to be looking grim for the god, his fortune changes when a middle school girl, Hiyori Ikki, supposedly saves Yato from a car accident, taking the hit for him. Remarkably, she survives, but the event has caused her soul to become loose, and hence able to leave her body. Hiyori demands that Yato return her to normal, but upon learning that he needs a new partner to do so, reluctantly agrees to help him find one. And with Hiyori's help, Yato's luck may finally be turning around. The plot is so good and overall was a very interesting anime that you can tell that the whole world of Yato is very unique, and the creativity of this manga and TV series is something I've never really seen before in anime. This is one of the best anime I have ever seen. I very much hope that they will do a season 3. Both seasons were so emotionally compelling and well illustrated that I watched them several times. I loved the loving fatherly relationship of Yato and Yukine. Therefore, I definitely recommend this anime. Number 3, Rurouni Kenshin. Himura Kenshin is a vagabond with a dark past and sunny disposition. Not a ronin, but a Rurouni. He was never a samurai, but an assassin of utmost skill in the Meiji Restoration, who, in the turning point of the war, simply walked away. His travels lead him to Tokyo in the 11th year of the Meiji era, where he befriends a female kendo master, a former thief, a brawler, and a doctor, all with their own secrets. Together they fight off the enemies surfacing from the dark past that Kenshin cannot escape. Though the show has its lighthearted moments, it's not flippant in the way it handles its themes of atonement and justice. And while it's got some filler episodes, the action scenes are memorable and Kenshin is a worthy protagonist. At number 2, The Devil is a Part-Timer. The Devil is a Part-Timer is a great anime where the main character is a demon lord coming from another world to live on Earth as a human, while trying to keep his real identity and power hidden. The demon lord Satan is beginning to conquer the land of Enta Isla with his vast demon armies. However, while embarking on this quest to take over the continent, his efforts stop at the hero Emilia, who forces Satan to make his retreat through a dimensional portal to land in the human world. The demon finds himself stranded in Tokyo and vows to return and complete his subjugation of Enta Isla. Satan assumes the guise of a human named Daimao and begins working at McDonald's to make ends meet. He soon realizes that his goal of conquering Enta Isla is just not enough. The Devil is a Part-Timer presents a hilarious view of the most mundane aspects of everyday life, all through the eyes of a demon lord. The Devil is a Part-Timer is definitely an anime I would recommend to all anime fans, as it is super entertaining and will give you a good laugh. In my opinion, this show should have a second season, as it doesn't quite give you that sense of fulfillment in the end. And finally, at number 1, The Familiar of Zero. Louis-Francois Leblanc de la Valliere is a mage in a world of wands, cloaks, and royalty. Although she studies at Tristan Academy, a prestigious school for magicians, she has a major problem. Louise is unable to cast magic properly, earning her the nickname of Louise the Zero from her classmates. When the first-year students start performing a summoning ritual, Louise's summoning results in a catastrophic explosion. Everyone deems this to be yet another failure, but when the smoke clears, Saito Hiraga appears. Now Louise treats her familiar Saito as a slave, forces him to clean her clothes and eat off the ground. But when Saito's hand starts etching from the summoning ritual, rumors have it to be the mark of a powerful familiar named Gandalf. Wild, adventurous, and explosive, The Familiar of Zero is an amazing harem anime with an overpowered main character who is always ready to unleash his power to save his lover.